You're now tuning into
The Cover Gang.
What's going on, Cover Gang? It's me and Justin Frith. We are here to help you cover the spread on all of the 405, 425 Sunday night game and the doubleheader Monday night games. So first off, he's going to list every game. I'm going to give my points. We'll see if we agree. Tell you how much we're putting on each game.
First up, we got the 49ers at the Rams. Huge number, opened up at 7.5. I think it went all the way up to 8.5, even 9, and then I think it's made its way back down to 7.5. Division rival at home. Who you got, man?
Yeah, the Rams are supposed to be horrific this year. They killed Seattle, and I was all over the Steelers last week, and I got Brock Purdy'd. Oh, man. Am I going to do it again? Yes, I am. I'm taking the Rams and the points. You have to. Divisional game. It doesn't matter. Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan. This game means a lot to both of them. Matthew Stafford looked sharp last week. I understand the 49ers look crazy good, but over a touchdown, I feel confident. This is a normal unit size for me, but just because I'm still reeling from that Pittsburgh loss last week. But yeah, give me Sean McVay and the Rams at home plus 7.5.
Yep, I'm right there with you. It's the recipe. Look, 9 times out of 10, we're going to follow, home dog division rival. It's just the recipe. 49ers are also getting 75% of the bets. I mean, of course they are, like you said, after what happened, but I like the Rams to cover this number. It's a big number. Locked it in at 8.5, but I would still take it 7.5, no doubt. So I think it's the side for sure.
Yeah, I just hope they're not the Eagles of last year. Like I faded them week in and week out, and it was just blowout week in, week out. And they played perfect football in that first half against Pittsburgh. So it scares me. Like I said, I'm just putting a normal unit size. I'm not doubling down or anything on this one. But yeah, Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford come through for me here.
Next up, we got the Commanders at the Broncos. This is the ugly game of the week. I don't really have many points on this. I think there's no real edge in the line. If I'm picking a side, I'm taking the Broncos to cover at home versus a bad Commanders team. What can I say about this one?
I don't know what to say either. I mean,
is
Russell
done? Is he done, bro? Like
I don't think last week's loss was even really on Russell. Like, why are you kicking an onside kick to open up the game, like letting them get in scoring position? I mean, Broncos defense couldn't stop Jimmy Garoppolo from running for a first down.
I can't watch.
Got to score more than 16 points. I'm
taking
Washington. I'm taking Washington plus 3.5 here until the Broncos prove something else to me. If you're only going to score 16 points a game, get to 20, and then I'll think about taking you next week. But I'm not putting hardly anything on this game. But give me the Commanders plus 3.5.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Next up, we got the Cardinals at the Giants. Or no, we got the Giants at the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Tell us about that fishy line movement that you sniffed out with your Sniffer 3000.
All right, so I don't know what's going on. The Giants got beat 40-0 by Dallas. They should bounce back. Brian Daboll's a good coach. The Cardinals are atrocious. Cardinals covered last week like we predicted because they had no tape on the quarterback. Giants should bounce back here and win significantly. But there is something going on, as we spoke about last week. This line movement is crazy. It opened up at 4. Giants favored by 4 on the road. Looked like it was going straight to 6. Stopped at 5.5, stayed there, and then as it was at 5.5, I grabbed it at 4 when it opened up. At 5.5, I still felt good about the Giants, and then now it's back down to 4. What's going on? Is it Billy Donovan was the coach? He was the defensive coordinator for the Eagles, so and the Eagles killed the Giants when they played. So maybe the Sharps are thinking that he is going to be able to figure out Daniel Jones in this offense and have similar success, but I'm going with the public at -4, but honestly, you got to jump on the 4. Anything over 4, like I said, it's just something's not right. I'm putting maybe like 3/4 of a unit on it just because I don't feel right about what the line's doing, but I'm taking the Giants to bounce back here.
Yeah, this is a weird one for me as well. 80% of the bets on the G-men, and yet the line jumps down a whole point out of nowhere. Like you said, very strange. I didn't get it at 4. I got it at 4.5, but it's like a half unit kind of play for me. It's just fishy, and I think you take the G-men to bounce back after an embarrassment, in the season opener. And historically, it's the recipe that teams that get blown out in such fashion, they will do well, especially on the road. It's going to be real quiet on that plane ride over to Arizona. They're going to be laser focused when they take the field, and I think they cover it even with the weird line movement.
I mean, even though they got beat 40-0, like I think the Giants still are a good team.
They were
but
in the playoffs. I mean, they were they
I
were
just
a
don't.
winning team last year, a very good winning team. Like,
We said it on the air last week. It's just when lines move like this for reasons I don't understand. Usually,
watch out.
you need to swap because you're on the wrong side. So that's why when it was at 5.5, my confidence was a lot higher. Now that it's at 4, I'm taking the Giants here, but like I said, under a unit size.
Next up, we got the Jets at the Cowboys. I don't know about you, man, but this one was one of my favorite ones of the week. I got 2 units on the Jets covering the 9 points. I think it's a huge number, a line overreaction from the Aaron Rodgers injury and the Cowboys blowout. Jets play the Cowboys well. I think it's sitting at like a 39 or a 40-point total, usually low total games with a big spread, a big underdog. Underdog usually covers. 2 units on this one for me. What about you?
No, not 2 units for me. This comes down to, do you think Dallas's defense scores 2 touchdowns or at least 1 touchdown? Because I think they got a good chance against Zach Wilson in this predictable, just get it out at the line. He's not going to be throwing the ball downfield against this defense. So I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, but it seems like people are also overreacting to the way Josh Allen played against the Jets, and then they think that since Dak Prescott had 15 interceptions last year, it's going to be similar things. So when it gets 9.5 points is a lot, so I will take the points and the Jets, but no, it's not one of my favorite bets of the week. Same with the Giants, under a unit size for me.
Next up, we got the Dolphins at the Patriots. This is another
Game
one
of the week.
another one of those recipe games, as we talked about earlier. Like, everyone's taking the Dolphins, but who are we on?
Please, the money that I lost you last week, let me make it back to you this week. The one that I tripled, quadrupled down on the Colts, still feel like that was the right side. Take the Patriots here at home. +3. I think they win the game outright, but divisional dog at home. Tyreek will... and Tua, they look so great. The public is so heavy on this Dolphins team. Primetime game. Bill Belichick's defense slows Tua and that offense down some. Comes down to a field goal at the end, but yeah, +3. Patriots, lock of the week.
Yeah. I like it. Don't love it, but just because I think...
Is you scared?
No, I think Pats just really don't have enough to deal with the Dolphins if it gets going. I mean, they don't have anyone that can even guard Tyreek. I mean, it's just, I don't love it, but it is the sharp side, and that's why I'm definitely taking it. Everyone opens their app, saw -2.5 Dolphins, and just smashed it. So, for that reason, Pats for sure.
Yeah, like I said, it's definitely my favorite game of the week. But in that second half, I mean, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith didn't look too good. So, this Patriots defense is no joke.
Yeah. First up for the Monday night doubleheader, we got the Saints at the Panthers. This is another one of those games. You already know what I'm on. Taking the Panthers. 2 units on this one. I loved it at 3.5. Still like it at 3. I think it's some great value on Bryce Young to bounce back in a game where the road favorite is getting the majority of the bets, the Saints. Carolina's 7-3 against the Saints and against the spread in their last 10 against the Saints, and I think in this game, I think Carolina's run game is the difference maker. Titans got the ball moving pretty good, and it was a low-scoring game. I think something similar happens here, and I think the clock just chews out with them covering that 3.5 for sure.
So you know me, I always take the divisional dog, but give me one good football reason, Justin, that I should take this Panthers team. One good one.
Because
Frank,
it's the recipe, and that's what we do. We take the 3 or the 3.5 of a home divisional dog, and you just don't question it. It's ugly, but it's versus the Saints, bro. We talked about the Saints. That's why you take it. What are you scared of? The Saints, Dennis Allen? No.
I'm not. I just Frank Reich doesn't start off seasons that well. Is Chark Jr. Is he going to be back in the lineup? Is Adam Thielen going to be the number one receiver? It's just this Panthers team is bad, man. But I'm gonna ride with you. It's not one I'm doubling down on. I'll put a normal unit size on it because it is the sharp side here. But I asked you to give me one football reason, and because I can't think of one. After watching the Panthers week 1, I cannot think of one. Bryce Young.
That's
I think
exactly why
he's-
you take it. Your feelings right now. That's what everybody else feels.
Yeah,
and that's why they
makes
cover.
my stomach upset to take the Panthers here.
2 units for me. Next up, we got the Browns at the Steelers. Last year or year before, we'd be excited about this kind of spread in game. How are you feeling about this one right now?
Yeah, Browns favored by 1.5 on the road. And what do we always do in these games? Divisional home dogs. We take them every time, but not this time. Steelers were overhyped. I said it all offseason, said it in our playoff predictions. They're an overhyped team. The defense is overhyped. Kenny Pickett,
He looks
Bust.
stinky.
small hands bust. I understand if you just play the 49ers defense, and Cleveland's defense is good, but they're not the 49ers. But Pittsburgh to start 0-2 at home, 2 home game loss, it's going to be tough to bounce back from, but it's going to happen. I'm taking Browns minus 1.5.
I'm taking the Steelers.
Doubling down on it.
I'm taking
doubling
the Steelers.
down on it.
I did not bet this one because I saw plus 1.5, and I'm like, this is just gross. But I think it's moved to 2 or 2.5. It's time to flip. Like, I'm playing the bounce back. It was brutal. Everybody's scared right now to take the Steelers, and we called this hot start for the Browns, and maybe they go 2-0 right here. But Steelers have pedigree in their home stadium. They're not gonna let the Browns just come in here and just torture them like the 49ers did. I don't know. I think, it's time to flip and just give the Steelers one more shot. 7-3 against the spread in their last 10 against the Browns. History's on your side.
You don't have to torch them to win by 1.5.
This is true, but I think Steelers have to get right in this game, or they're surely finishing last place and potentially below 500 for the first time in Mike Tomlin's career. They got a tough schedule ahead. This is
Still a long season.
This is a win right here for them. They gotta win this game because these divisional games though, they matter. They matter more. I think they gotta win this one.
0-2 start. Steelers.
We're split on that one, but that's it for the picks of the week. Tune in Monday the 18th for our recap video where we determine how we did for the majority of the games. And, well, we may know who already is the better of the week, but it may come down to that Browns-Steelers game. Please like the video if you would like to see more content. Comment below who you think wins the better of week 2. Tyler won week 1, but I was up 2 units, so I'm not sad because I took the right double downs in week 1. Subscribe and click the bell, which turns notifications on so you are notified whenever we drop a video. Thanks for tuning in. Good luck betting week 2. Don't overreact on what we just saw in week 1. Stick to the recipe. Stick to the bread and butter, and let's cover the spread. Cover Gang checking out. Peace.